I'm not sure about the use of objective and subjective. Personally, I don't believe something like that exists, except maybe in a concept. There's nothing like objective in the realm of human experience. There's only something like subjective. Objective, the word's origin comes from science that wants to prove that they can seek and find the truth. And therefore they say, because I'm objective in doing this research, I have come to this conclusion and now it must be the truth. They base it on the concept of being objective. But if you and I really think about that, whose brain processed the theory that sparked the research? Whose brain constructed the research method? Whose brain did the actual research? Whose brain analyzed all the findings of the research? Or was it just, and there it was? No, there was a human involved subjectively then to do all the research, to construct a theory, to set the hypothesis, to test the hypothesis, etc., etc. In reality, there's no such a thing as objective. It remains subjective all the time, 100% of the time. You can say, yes, it's a blind study. In other words, I've limited my intervention to move something in a direction which I would like it to go. I limited that as far as possible. But that's blind, that's not objective. So our use of the words objective and subjective in this context just need a little bit of clarification. Everything remains subjective. What I think needs to happen, if I listen to Johanni, is this internal dialogue that she has on the empathy she has with a client. If you can eventually come to a place where you draw a distinction between experiencing your own emotion for what you're hearing from your client versus experiencing your client's emotion. If there is a thing like discernment of spirit, then it means I could be able to discern your spirit because you've got a spirit and I've got a spirit. Or I could be able to discern, let's call it a demonic spirit because it's spirit. Or I could discern God because He is spirit. Now, what's the difference between discerning a spirit? Let's say your spirit is disturbed or, emotionally you're upset and I discern that. How much of it is me discerning your emotion versus me getting angry for what happened to you? So that's a thing I think we need to develop is to make that distinction. Is it actually just your emotion that I feel or pick up, or is it me that gets angry? If I listen to Koos's definition, it might sound like I immerse myself so deeply into you, I feel so for you, I'm so with you, I'm so in your space, that it's actually just your emotion that I pick up. I'm actually feeling like you feel. I feel your emotion as opposed to this is now my emotion. If you can, maybe this is just my experience, that I have come to believe that if I pick up on your emotion, I ask myself the question, is it yours, is it mine? And often I say, no, it's not mine, so it's yours. And that unhooks me a little bit from, okay, now I can be present with you because I've assessed now the emotion that I experience is not mine. It's your emotion, and so I'm at the good place. I'm actually empathetic now because I'm experiencing with you what you are experiencing. So on a rational basis, I've just unhooked myself and say, no, this is just the spirit of discernment operating, or the gift of discernment, or whatever you want to call it. That's just now operating here, and that's why I'm with you. I'm so with you that I experience your anger for what you are telling me, or your shame for what you're telling me, or your depression. So that's got to do with this internal dialogue and the self-awareness that I am deciding. Maybe I'm tricking myself, but it helps. Tricking myself to believe that I'm picking up on your spirit. I'm discerning your spirit. I'm in your emotion. I'm immersed in you. I'm so empathetic with you that I can even feel what you feel. The other thought is just now expressing that there are techniques and ways of questioning and ways of reflecting for a client whereby you can, this internal dialogue that was at first very disturbing because you might have thought it's my emotion, I'm angry, that you express it to your client for further exploration or for further discovery or for further clarification or for further making the client self-aware of something that you've picked up of him that he also now can see and start to work with or to change or to develop or to grow out of. That's known as empathy.